Cybersecurity risk assessment conducted by the team New Zealand. Fake attack vectors. The following are possible attack vectors to the fake system: phishing, social engineering, ransomware, denial of service, man-in-the-middle attack, zero-day attack, SQL injection, natural disasters, hardware theft. Recommended best practices for authentication, authorization, and access control. Creating an access baseline is one way of limiting access by evaluating records for each participant. Segregation of access via user rules. The doctrine of least access can be utilized to set access controls. Auditing access to all users, especially IT users, is vital. Prompt termination of former employee accounts, automation of user provisioning and deprovisioning of users. Cyber offense strategies. Utilizing particular types of malware to conduct an offensive approach to cyber offenses. The strategy can aid in determining the exact source of the attack and infect offensive nodes. Using zero-day exploit, where they can conduct an attack on a weak system before a solution is found for the particular system. Zero-day exploits are used to create cyber weapons and commit cyber espionage. Conducting an hackback is also an offensive strategy. This can be monitored and used on mobile devices to analyze activities on the web to determine potential threats and neutralize them before they strike or develop a honeypot. Use of open source tool is possible to track down and persecute intruders. The tool can be used to analyze and even pinpoint the physical location of attackers as well as decoding polymorphic hardware. Measures for authentication. Authentication refers to determining the claims of a user that they are legitimate. Authenticating identity can be carried out by retina scan, smart card, fingerprints, and voice. Essential authenticating. This requires one to set up a passcode to verify identity and access the resources of an organization. Digest authentication. This is more secure as it fails to send one's passcode across a network. Thus, an attacker cannot know the passcode by sniffing network traffic. Deny and allow instructions. This deny or allow access based on host name and address, as well as the hardware requesting for a document. Satisfy directory. This ensures that before a user accesses data, their credentials satisfy some criteria. Measures for authorization. Authorization refers to determining whether the user has the right to issue commands. This occurs within the context of authentication. Once a user is authenticated, the user may then be authorized for certain activity. Null authorization means no authorization. ACLs allows access via access control list. Network segmentation. This involves dividing the network into different sections via VLANs. Measures for access control. 4 types of access control can aid in guaranteeing that users are legitimate and effectively mitigate risk in cyber attacks. Discretionary access control. This allows the user assign access rights based on specified rules. Mandatory access control. This grants individual access based on data clearance and regulations from the central command unit. Role-based access control. This allows access by reviewing a user's role and applies the least privilege and separation of privilege doctrines. Attributes-based access control. This weighs in on the location, position, and sometimes of date to grant access to particular information or places. Attack vector and attribution analysis. The utilization of non-stringent policies allows insiders and outsiders to easily intrude since there are no clear and robust guidelines set for corporates. System hardware can obtain attacks from various sources, such as drives that don't self-encrypt. Thus, anyone with passcode can access the data. Use of computers without pre-boot authentication is also a cause of attack, since without a PBA, the system can load without receiving authentication, and there is a chance of infecting the system during the reboot process. The software can also be attacked, primarily when the patches in the system are not worked on in good time. Unpatched systems are an easy target for cyber attackers. Inadequate training and awareness of staff can also contribute to cyber attacks in the organization. When staff is unaware of the means through which cyber attacks happen, they may be used as tools to accomplish attack unknowingly. Physical security requires emphasis to prevent stealing of hardware. Here is the vulnerability matrix with the vulnerability information, the categorization, the mitigation strategy, and all other information. Recommendations. To have a well-functioning system that guarantees the security of data and the continuity of business, fake organizers should focus on mitigating all risk. The first step is to focus on access control, authentication, and authorization to limit access to crucial data. The second step is creating and enlightening all participants about cybercrimes so that they may learn the skill to detect and mitigate some simple attacks themselves. Improving and upgrading hardware is also an important issue as the perpetrators of the cybercrimes have access to recent technology. Thus, the fight requires superior technology to fight back. Implementation of stringent policies and commencement of offensive strategy will aid FAI in ensuring criminals are caught before the strike. Here are the references used in creating this presentation. Thank you.